Hey, what's up, Estes kiddos? Mr. Abel here. I'm going to talk to you today about our first family of instruments. That's what we were going to get into if we were in school at the time. So the first family we're going to talk about today is the percussion family. Now, the percussion family is super cool because there are so many different types of percussion instruments. If you look in countries all over the world, you'll see all different types of percussion instruments. But today I've got just the basic array of what you would see in a percussion ensemble. And so we're going to take a look at some of these different ones. Now in percussion you have two categories of percussion instruments. You've got pitched percussion and non-pitched percussion. Now, we know that pitch is a sound that we can sing, right? So for example, if I were to go to this xylophone and play bum, oh, I can sing that note. So this is a pitched percussion instrument because I can play pitches on it. Which, if you're really thinking musically right now, you can hear that this actually uses our solfege, our major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Pretty cool. Alright, so that is a pitched percussion instrument, and a lot of times pitched percussion instruments will look like this, and the cool thing about this is we can actually take some of these keys off. So I'm going to make a pentatonic scale, or for some of your older kids, you know that this means penta, 5, tonic, note, right? And we know that the notes for that are going to be do, re, mi, sol, la, do, la, sol, mi, re, do. Pretty cool. All right, now the pitched percussion category has a lot fewer array of instruments. In this category, you might have the timpani, or the metallophone, the vibraphone, the xylophone, or other instruments like that, usually played with mallets, just like this. These mallets have yarn on the tip, so it makes a really nice, smooth sound. Man, so nice. All right, now we can move on to non-pitched percussion. Now, non-pitched, you probably can't sing the sound that it makes, right? So, for example, if I were to take these cymbals, which probably going to be pretty loud, or forte, right? So, if I take these cymbals, let's see if I can be able to sing this sound. No, not really. Blah. Yeah, no, that doesn't really work. Oh man, but how awesome is that? Usually you would hear these come into a big part in a march or something. Ba 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 da ba 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 ba. Da, 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 right? So really cool. I know you guys love those a lot. Now, in addition to things like that where we crash them together, you also have a type of instrument that includes shakers, right? Or a rattle. Usually it is some kind of container that has something inside. Now this is a maraca, and usually a maraca would be made out of a gourd, right? Which looks a little bit like a pumpkin or a squash that would be dried out and then filled with rice or beans and dried and hardened. This is actually made out of plastic with a wooden handle and probably has some little plastic beads on the inside. And you shake or you rattle it, right? Like a baby rattle. And so if I were to play this with a song, I'd be like, dum, dum, dum. Pretty neat. Usually these instruments are going to be played using ostinatos, which if you remember, ostinato means a repeated rhythm, okay, or a repeated pattern. It's going to lay underneath a song for the entire thing. All right. Now, another type of rattle or shaker we have is the tambourine. One we use often in class. Now, in addition to that, we have the drums, okay? Now, drums are played either by using your hands to strike the surface. Now, we don't hit a drum, we strike a drum. A strike is a short, purposeful hit. You're not just like going, ah! doesn't sound good. We have to know what we're doing. So we strike the drum. Right? You have to know exactly what you're doing. And I'm not hitting it super hard, but it's quick and purposeful. Now this is a djembe, and a small one at that. This one comes from Africa. All right, a really awesome drum, usually used when groups come together and have dances, or they'll all have djembes and they'll have a drum circle, a big part of their community. Now obviously we're not going to do that right now because 50 people or less, right? The next one is a buffalo drum, and this, instead of using your hands, you use a stick with a felt top to it. It makes a very deep resonating sound and is usually done with just a steady beat. This is used for Native American ceremonies, and Native Americans have big musical powwows for all kinds of things. Crops being ready to harvest, or their food, they're going off to travel, or a group is coming back from a hunt. So you would just kind of hear this going on while they would chant and dance. Not hitting this very hard. Alright, so that is a buffalo drum, one of my personal favorites, because I can really pierces the eardrums. Alright, now of course you can make a drum out of just about anything. As you know, in class, we use buckets. Alright, and you can make all kinds of different sounds and different patterns using a bucket. Put on your favorite song and make a pattern out of it. Right? A lot of fun that you can have putting on your favorite song and just making an ostinato to that. Now, along with this is the drum that's probably most well known, and if you play percussion in middle school, you're probably going to have one of these, and it's a snare drum. Now, these things are super loud and a lot of fun. I'm going to need these and move this up. And I'm just going to play a short snippet. Now, I am not a percussionist. I am a guitar player, but we'll see how I do. Pretty cool and super loud, and you have to turn the snare on in order to make it sound like that. And the snares are these little things on the bottom, right? And they rattle against the drum to give it that sound. And if I turn the snare off, it's going to sound a lot more like the djembe or the buffalo drum. Pretty neat. Now, there are thousands of percussion instruments out in the world. I invite you to look some up and find some from different countries, because some of them are really, really cool. And the last one that I want to show you today is this. And it's one that you guys really enjoy. I hope you guys have a great day.